Okay, so Sunday, fun day, at 4:31. I wanted to wait until 4:32 just because I like that number better, but I was like, that's not real, that's not authentic. If I just wait, sit here and wait, well, okay, now it's 4:32. So I was like, it's 4:31 on the 27th, and my brain is full. So I, I want to clarify some questions that Crystal asked me in the comments. And, oh my God, there's so much stuff. Just like flying through my brain. Last night, though, I had this dream. I was having the craziest dreams. And, okay, I can explain this better, I think, now. It was so horrible last night. I can't even believe it. I just can't even believe it. And it's so crazy, too, because I went and took a nap. It wasn't until like 2, I think, until I took a nap. So it was like 12 hours after I'd gotten up. So I was up doing stuff all that time. And then, and on the most smallest amount of sleep. It's so funny because when I was working and I would barely get any sleep, I would fuck my day up. I would just be like, oh my God, my day's fucked. And now I'm just like, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. And it is. But also, I think when we are giving energy to something we don't want to give, it's also a lot harder. And that also has to do with these weird ass concerts going on that I want to talk about too. And there's so many. I just can't even believe it. It's so fucking weird. It's like the parade of nonsense is happening. And but this dream was, I had a bunch that were super, super vivid. And it's just like going. It's like I'm there. It's not like I'm dreaming or something. It's like this is really happening. And so this one, oh yeah, but when I laid down, okay, so I took a nap, I could lay down, it was fine, and fell asleep. Then I go to lay down at night, and I don't understand what the fuck. The ground is like shivering or something. It's like, it feels like this vibration is coming up through the ground and going through my body. And it was feeling, and all day long, this has been going for, I don't know, it seems like weeks now, but uh, and up during the day and stuff, my body will keep doing this weird shit. But while I was laying there, it's like, it feels like my body's trying to turn inside out. That's the only thing I can think of to explain it. It is the most horrific, uncomfortable thing. I don't even, it is horrible. And I'm turning and turning. And then also, I do some loony shit, man. I'm half retarded for sure. Like, no doubt about it. Yeah, I went out. The dogs have a little pool. It just keeps getting total algae super quick. I don't know, the heat, all the stuff, I guess. So I took it over to the garden when I was watering. I was gonna wash it out really good. And then I decided, oh, I'll carry it with some water in it. I'll carry it up the driveway with the water in it, which I could, it was just sloshing out. I was like, hell no, it is so fucking heavy. And I got a little bit in it, so I did carry it with a little bit in it. And it's sloshing back and forth, back and forth. And see, I think this is how the girl who I'm going to go help, how she hurt her back. Because the PT said you've got to keep equal weight on both sides. And in her PT stuff, she's doing these things, and he said, pretty soon you'll be able to pick up 45 pounds with just your arm out. My mom's like, no way. I said, I think I could pick up 20 or something, but I don't, 45. I mean, I could see, like, if you picked it up off the ground and just picked it up, but to put it out, geez, try picking up weight and putting your arm straight out somewhere. It's fucking hard. Another thing I did the other day that my mom was like, oh my God, how are you doing this? It was crouching. I just went down, like, you know, I've talked about the crouch before. Where I found myself in the crouch that time was when I was out in the garden. This is years ago. It was like around 2016. And I was out in the garden at my old house, one of my old houses. And I was doing some stuff, and then all of a sudden, I wasn't there. I was in this room. It wasn't in a room. It was almost like like outside in an alley or something, but it was like built, it was like little houses all around us or something. I don't know, it was really weird. But I was in this circle with all these ladies. They were all oriental of some nature. I'm not sure, because each place has its own way of looking. I don't know, like Cambodia or something. Cambodia comes to my mind, but it could be coming to my mind because Cambodia is bombing Thailand right now. Because my mom has a friend whose son is stationed there, and he panicked and got up and called his mom and said, "I just got up and we're shooting them at Thailand." Which is also a warning thing coming, a permanent prediction or something, that there's a tsunami, a giant earthquake is about to hit their fault line. The Madrid fault line keeps getting talked about. It is, and it's going to create a tsunami, and it's going to be Gonzville here soon. I don't know what goes on in Thailand, but no way, Stella, no way. But there's footage of a guy who looks exactly like Jeffrey walking through the streets. This come out on social media. It's like, I think most of us know he's not really gone, but I don't know what he's doing over there. Maybe sweeping up, maybe helping, I don't know, but I think a lot of bad stuff is going on there. I think that's why it's constantly being brought into things. But like I've said, places where it carries a lot of bad energy are going to go Gonzville. So you can come over here and lay down. Knock it off. You're not having more to eat. None of that. God, she's so bossy. Hold on. So supposedly, I mean, what he says is happening is that they are under attack. They are attacking them. But anyways, when I look and I see the little ladies, that is kind of what they look like. Is like where I see like how people like in Vietnam or Cambodia look. And so we were all crouching down and just sitting there. We're just sitting there chilling. Everybody's just sitting there talking, looking at each other, chilling. And I was like, whoa, this is so trippy. Am I going to a past life? Am I time traveling? Like, what the hell is going on here? I wasn't clear, but it gives me peace kind of whenever I think of it. It's like I think it was like a past life, because it was like knowing the people and being there with them or something, and knowing what we were doing is it's like a gathering, it's like an energetic us all there talking. But anyways, everybody was crouched down, just in this crouch, and at the other house, my cabin is where I started doing all that kind of stuff, where I started doing these things. I was just listening to my guides, and then I'd be doing these things, and then this stuff would pop up on my YouTube, I think it was. Or it was, could have been TikTok, I don't remember, but things would pop up and I'd be like, oh, I'm doing these chi things. And then, so it was all this different stuff. So I was just listening to myself, listening to this aspect of myself that it was connected to this lifestyle or way of being. Stella, please stop it, okay? She's trying to interrupt me because it's really distracting my brain. Stop it. Come and lay down and knock it off. I'm not coming and giving you more food or anything right now. I'm doing this. You're going to have to wait. So, she just had a big giant bowl of food, and then she went and took Max's away from him, and he's really not feeling good still. He skipped eating last night. He wanted to skip this morning. I said, you better hurry up and get over there and eat it. She's going to come steal it. So he went over and he started eating it, but he's eating really slow, but he ate some, but then she, of course, went and stole it. Big old thing. Just lay down and knock it off. Don't knock my wire. Tootie booty on. I don't even know. I was trying to think. Sometimes she poops so much you can't even believe it. I'm just like, how can this much poop come out of you? But maybe she is a little constipated. Because I was thinking, man, I haven't picked up any like horse piles. So, anyways, so The crouching down, then I had seen it is it's an energetic thing, but it releases a lot of lymph, which is energy, and so it depends on how you perceive the body in your avatar. Depends on all in your perception. So, but the crouching down. So, anyways, I was up there the morning and talking to my mom. I don't know, maybe she was talking about I have no idea really, and we were talking about stretching or something, and I just went down and started I was doing stretches or something, and I went down and did that, and she was like, what, how are you doing this, you magical person? And I was like, yeah, I only just crouch, and so then I started talking more about it, and about when I realized, like, my two granddaughters, they were younger then, and they would be sitting, like, it could be sitting Indian style, everybody sitting on the ground talking or whatever. And it's funny how we all sit Indian style, but crouching is better. But I don't know, Indian style, I'm sure, is a thing too. So, but anyway, so we were down. They were down, and they just stood up. They didn't use their arms to get up. It didn't bend, didn't do anything. They just were sitting, and then they just stood up. I'm like, what? What is this magic? It's the same kind of thing. And I was like, oh my God, when you start trying to do that, you really realize how much muscles that we lose from the time we're kids. And see, we just accept it. We just keep going. You know, that is a part of this whole aging thing. We stop using parts of our body, and it starts becoming unused. And we've got to give more acknowledgement or more effort into using these different things. You know, I feel like I kind of, what makes me think of that is, you know, swinging on the monkey bar things, you know, and then as you get older, try and go do a fucking lift. I couldn't even do one back in gym class. Pull my own body up with my arms. You know, they had guys doing that, and there were some girls that could do that, but I'd be like, oh, I couldn't do it. I'm not very muscly. Even though I saw somebody like sharing something about Kate Middleton, and she did look boyish, that's for sure. This new Kate, whatever is going on about that situation, she definitely looked boyish. But in the comments, boy, the people were chewing this lady's ass, man. And they were, oh, have you never seen an athletic woman? And all that. She is so freaking small. And then she tries to wear clothes. Some of these outfits, it was like, you're really trying to accentuate how tiny you are. And then there's this whole thing, well, you know, she's got the big C, and she's got to do this, and muscle man, all this stuff. Like, and, but I was like, dang, she really, like, in one of these outfits especially, it was like, God dang, if you took her head off, you'd think like that was a boy. And so I don't know, it's just weird because they're like, oh, that's an athletic build, which, you know, I mean, there is some of these things where I see these girls and they tear them down and say, oh, that's a boy, look at this, look at that. And I'm always thinking, I got that, I got that. I got long arms, I got long hands. I don't know about this clavicle thing. I mean, I don't know how my bones line up on my face and shit. So, they just do these total teardowns on people. So many. Oh my God. There's so many of those videos that I just can't even believe. But I'm always thinking, and there was people in the comments too saying the same thing. I'm always thinking that they'll do this to me and they'll say the same thing. So yeah, I don't know. It seems like it's a little, you know, out of balance. But anyways, but I was thinking, it's funny because, you know, they're saying, oh, well, that's an athletic build. Well, I think people, you know, like I said, I would be considered more athletic building. I'm like more flatter, more narrow, but I have hips. I'm not, you know, a lot of them, they have more boyish hips. And it's so funny, when I was younger, I couldn't stand my hips. I was like, I want to have boy hips. I want to have no hips. But now I'm like, God, I'm glad I got girl hips. But, you know, it's like you come into your own and liking yourself and your body and appreciating it. I don't know. There's just, when you're younger, for some of us, depending on how insecure you are, you look at everybody else's, it's different than yours, and think, Ah, that would be so much better. That's the way to go. If I had curly hair, small hips, big, but I like all this stuff. But anyways, I like myself now. So um, even if they came and tore me down, it's like, well, I know what babies have come out of me, so I know I'm a girl. So think what you want. Anyway, they've grown inside of me, and hold on. And I've got so many things in my mind. Okay, so let's move off of Kate back onto, where was I before? Oh, the crouching. And that's, it releases a lot of lymph. So it's good. And, but anyways, my mom said, while I'm at my brother's, because it's only a few weeks away now, is, she said, you got to do that. Because they're supposed to be my brother and my sister-in-law are going to be there. And my brother, the youngest brother now, he's got sickness. And he did come and start asking me stuff. And there was a whole thing, well, you know, he wanted to find out if I was harassing my other brother while I was there about do natural, which I didn't do. And, but I did harass my younger brother about it before, because I know he has influence. And if he says this will work or that'll work or try this, and I know my other brother would be more, you know, listen to him more. And because there was a lot, you know, everybody turned against me during quarantine, and it's just now starting to mend those things. And so they're supposed to be there now. My sister's saying she's going to come too, and so it's going to be all these people, and they are younger than me, and they are definitely older than me in the perception of aging confirmation. And so my mom said, oh, you got to do that. You got to do that magic trick. Get down there and crouch. That's going to really show them. Like, you think I'm not healthy? Look at this. What good I can do? I'm 50 years old. The whole thing. So, anyways, okay, scooting off of there and moving on. Okay, let's go back to the dream thing, because it's dream. Okay, so it was so fucking hard to get to sleep. I mean, I tossed and turned all night, and whatever I did trying to carry the motherfucking pool, I like spreading my arms trying to carry this thing. I did some kind of a pull on these muscles. Like, I didn't realize, like, there was these here. It's like, oh, dang, man. Ugh. God, right by your heart too. And then one of the videos I saw was like, all these people are having heart attacks. They're 18 to 44 years old. I'm like, I know it's not a heart attack. It's just I pulled a muscle or whatever. But it's like the pain is all right there. So it's like, oh God, I was so uncomfortable about that. And my shoulders are really getting, they're freaking sleeping on the ground, the hard ground. You know. And I think I have wide shoulders. I've always thought I had wide shoulders. And so anyways, it's aching and then switching back and forth, and my chest starting, my body's trying to turn inside out. It's like, oh my God, it was so fuckery. And then I could just feel the ground. And I did see, because I did get up at one point, I was like, this is fucked. I've been laying there for hours, and I got up and I was so out. I was so tired. I just wanted to sleep. I was like, maybe try and sleep in the chair. I don't know what the hell to do. It's just, it's like man, everything is so fucking weird right now. So weird. It is, the weirdness just is spinning faster and faster and faster. So but I dozed off a few times because I would go directly into these crazy ass dreams. But this one was, this was good. And this is the one I woke up to. So I'm not sure what, I bet I was at this thing eating or something and talking. So there's people who were sitting there, and we started talking. And the guy who was sitting across from me, they were actors. And the guy sitting across from me, this is in the dream. Like, I don't know any of this. I mean, I don't think it's real in this world. If some show or something, he was in some show that I had watched the seasons, and I loved his character. And so I was like, oh, I love that character. But it was like they were in a different one now. And boy, Sydney Sweeney, the girl who had sold her bath water and soap with a hole in the soap so you could, what the fuck, these people. Now she's getting even worse. Like, there's a, boy, she's really getting it now. Because her new American Eagle ad. Oh, some of these things, oh, you should think that through a little clearer. Oh my God, damn. It's about jeans, about the G and E, and the blue-eyed, blonde-haired G. It's like, come on, people. But now, you know, well, we know the stigma behind the blue-eyed, blonde hair and oh, that's the perfect jeans. I was like, shut the fuck up, God damn. Oh, Lord have mercy on my soul. Better learn some history there. Come on. Hold on. I guess there's a lot of people with dark hair and dark eyes, and they know it. They aren't happy. So, yeah, the roast is on, and the cancellation is occurring. So, but there's a lot leading up to it, too, like when you're selling your bathwater and soap, so with a hole in it for, I just can't even believe like this. But that also, with these concerts, which I'm going to say in a second, but let me finish this dream really quick. So I'm sitting there, and so suddenly I'm friends with this guy who, and I was older in the dream. I feel like I was me, and this person, I don't know, it's like 30 years younger than me, but I've gone out and made friends with people who are younger than me. It's like I can talk about a lot of different things, and I don't have to just talk about I just carried that pool, and I always complained. My granddaughter called me, but I lost the call. But I was talking about that, and I was like, this is the worst thing that any young person wants to listen to Grandma talk about her aches and pains. But I just carried that pool, and I was like, good dang. So, anyways, so in this dream, this guy, he wanted to go get something. Like, they were all going to be leaving and going somewhere, but he wanted to go get something. And so I was going to go help him get it. I have no idea what it was. I can't even remember. And he didn't seem like he was driving erratically, but he made a few errors or something. And there was something about his driving record. And so then we get to this destination thing, and this cop comes, and the guy, the actor guy, he's like, well, I'm getting arrested. And I'm like, why? What the fuck would you be getting arrested for? He goes, well, I ran that red light. I said, they can't arrest you for running a red light. Like, what the hell are you talking about? And the cop came, and I was ranting at this point, and then suddenly the room was filling, and I was ranting, and I suddenly had an audience on my rant, which this is also leans into what I want to say about to Crystal. Okay, so, but explain it to everybody, because other people could have also been the same, like, what? So, anyways, I'll explain more. But keep that in mind. What I'm saying is the audience. So, so then, oh, fuck, my shoulder hurts. So this cop comes pulling up, and he, gets his cuffs out, and I start in with this rant, and I'm like, I was pissed, and I was like, fucking bullshit, man. A yellow light, so it could be 10 seconds, could be 20 seconds, could be 30 seconds, and then you can get arrested. I was like going off, and this cop is like, now he's focused on me. And so he starts coming at me, and I start telling him, this is fucking bullshit. You're all fucking bullshit. Like, I don't remember what I was saying, but that was the gist of it. And the corruption behind this, trying to trap us all the time, it's fucking entrapment. You can sit here and tell us, like, we broke the law when it's so fucking vague anyways. Like, you're trying to get through a yellow light. Do I speed up? Do I slow down? What do I do? Whatever, fucking bullshit, man. And so and they are. They're not all motherfucking same. You can go through one and it's boom. You can go through another one was like, you can just stop and you're sitting there like, oh, well, that was lame. So anyways, it's fucking bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. And so I'm ranting to this cop who's coming to arrest my new friend. And I say, you guys are a bunch of whatever, fucking bullshit. I can't wait to see you burn. That was it. He goes, what? That's well, he starts coming out to arrest me. And I'm like, what the fuck? I can say whatever the fuck I want. He's like, you can't. They just had the fires. And I was like, they just had that. And now you're like, now I'm involved because I said, oh, well, I could have said, I can't wait to see you hanging. Because that's what I was saying on Twitter all the time. I wasn't saying that directly, but I was I wanted to use a different GIF or meme or whatever it is. I wanted to use one of a squad, you know, what we got going, but I couldn't find any, and I was only allowed to use Twitter. I wasn't allowed on Twitter because they had already restricted me before this ever happened. They restricted me as soon as I had said something positive to Donald. And so I wasn't allowed to post pictures, GIFs, or anything that was outside of their thing. So I was using their very own GIF. And but I had wanted to use the squad, and then I would go in on like Pelosi and shit, all these people's thing, all these people who, you know, are involved, and I would say stuff like, well, you know the penalty of TRESON, don't you? And then that would be the picture, was that, but all they had was a noose. Just same difference. And so I put those, well, that's how I get the Secret Service coming to my house. Just check and see if I'm a maniac. I was like, no, it's just an angry, bitter old lady. So anyways, hold on. So anyways, I'm yelling at this cop and saying that. I said, oh, well, I could have said, I can't wait to see you guys all at the end of the news. He's like, that's it, or whatever. And I'm like, yelling back, I have freedom of speech. And so I've got a crowd now. But it's not like a crowd gathering. It was like they were always there. And all of a sudden, everybody's paying attention. And I'm yelling at him, and everything he says, I said, I've got freedom of speech. I've got freedom of speech. And I can say whatever the fuck I want. And he was gonna try and arrest me, but I didn't back down. I just continued to say I've got freedom of speech, and then he had to back down. And I don't remember if he took my new friend or whatever. I think I woke up somewhere around there. But the other thing that about the audience, okay, so that I'm going to talk about here in a second, but this little thing is smaller, so I do want to say about this, because these concerts, I can't even fucking believe how goddamn lame they are. So, Donnie Wahlberg. So, I have seen so many clips now, so I do think that the Donnie Wahlberg one of this weird, because him and Justin Bieber at this, Justin Timberlake, because Justin Bieber's on one too. And so Donnie Wahlberg's, I don't know, were Donnie Wahlberg and Justin Timberlake in the same boy band? I don't fucking know. I just know there was like Boyz II Men, and it seemed like there was like 3 boy bands that were popular. I don't know. I was not into that poppy kind of music. So, anyways, the Donnie Wahlberg one. So he has a big red screen, and I do think that it is his image that is like whatever he does, it's on a bigger screen, which is just creepy the way they're red. It just looks devilish. I don't know. And his movements. These guys were, wasn't that the whole fucking performance with these fucking boy bands, was them each taking turns singing different parts and then dancing in synchronicities or something? And then it's like, oh my nose is running through my Ta-da! So, but I think that was part of the spiel, or the shenanigans, or shebang, was their dance moves. And oh yeah, and J Lo, she's out there too. She is a wackadoo. Like, and put on some clothes, chick. Have some respect for yourself. And she's just like, she'll be 80 years old out there. Somebody please, like, I'm so sexy. Come and take me. It's like, girl, at some point you're gonna have to get off of the sexy, like what you look like. Sometime you gotta have something more depth to character. Like, give me a fucking break. So that's one thing too. Whenever I see these girls that are just totally relying on what they look like, it's like you gotta have more depth to you. Like, that's, looks fade. And but we're going into a time where it's gonna but still, you got to come in. I think a lot of these things are going to blow up for him, because it's like you got to be comfortable in your own skin. There's got to be more to you than just what you look like. And so, anyways, but we're going to go into a point in time at some point, who fucking knows, decades from now, or next week, whatever, whenever it comes. In which there's a whole lot of things going with the money thing, a whole lot of things. And in the money thing is going to be, I think, closely associated with the med bed things. But I don't know if the med beds are just going to be like, that's going to really give a point of like who's really been doing the work, if your vibration is really raised or not. And so, we'll all find out. We'll all get the wave and find out, like, what we got to do to work on what. But that's going to be such a big direction that people are going to go, is the self-evolving, working on yourself, and letting go of things from the past. And which also links into what I'm going to talk about too, with the audience and stuff. So anyways, the the okay, back on the concert thing. I don't know if I went off on some kind of angle, but so on the Johnny Wahlberg one, he is up on the stage and he's got this screen behind him, but it's weird because he's like at this weird angle, but the thing is doing what he does. So I don't know. It's just weird because it's like it's here doing this, but he's turned this way doing this. It's just weird looking. However, this angle is this film thing. So, but it is doing what he does. And so it's matching his movements, like, and his movements are so fucking lazy. Is so lazy and so robotic. And they don't sing. They'll say a couple words, and they just hold the mic out. You guys sing. Everybody knows the song. You guys sing it. And the people sing it, which all these people in the comments are like, you guys need to stop singing the songs for them. Like, how fucking lazy can you get? You're gonna charge people to come and sing to you? Like, give me a fucking break, man. And people pay a huge amount of money. I guess people are paying like $300 to go sing to this person and watch them. They can't even dance anymore. They don't even have the moves. And I don't know if they're just getting winded, like I said. And I mean, there's all these people saying like they think Justin's like on some kind of drugs or something. Like he's been visiting Colombia or something. I don't know. I don't know if he's coked out or what the hell's going on with these people. So, but anyway, so you got his weirdo fucking concert and his weirdo not singing and can't dance anymore. Just no moves, no shebang left in him. It's just a fizzle. It's like, ugh, that's a dead one. And dead banger. It's like, ugh. So then you have Justin Timberlake, and he is, oh God, I've seen so many of his now. Like, he's just out there just making money off of this. And he's so cringy. God, he's so cringy. Oh my God. I would not like to be married to. And then I know that he has got some stuff going. Like, he's got some charges going. I mean, a real weird one is that a girl has come out and said that she's his illegitimate child, which I'm sure a lot of these guys are just out there banging these girls that show up at their concerts. And they don't know if these girls have got birth control or whatever. They're just, oh, look, I can have sex with 10 girls in a night. I'm so cool. It's like, oh yeah, you're cool. And so they've got these illegitimate kids coming out, and so he had one, and she had tried to make contact or something. She was 14 or something. And so he started going and trying to bang with her. And he did a lot of weird shit. And so she's making charges on him, apparently. I don't know how buried that court case is at this point, but they may be trying to hush it up, get it quiet. And he's out there on tour trying to make money to hush money or something. And but he has a lot going on. There was more things, Well, he's a weirdo. He sold his soul. Like he doesn't know where it is, and so he has a whole bunch of these cringe ass things, and he's got no moves. His dancing is subpar. Like it's so bad. It is like I don't even think it'd be considered dancing. It's just these really weird. It's annoying. It's like you just see his ego. It's all you can see is this guy's ego. So and then he at some point even puts the microphone down. Like I'm not singing. You guys just sing. I'm just gonna listen. It's like what in the world? You pay for this fucking lackluster show, and so yeah, it's making me think about something else. This show, that comedy show that we went to. And it's like, man, all these people that have been around for a long time, they've lost their soul or something. And so Justin, he's also on tour, and his dancing. Oh my God! Somebody even showed a video of his old dancing and what he's doing now. What he was doing now is just marching across the stage. It's like if you saw the ones of Katy Perry and her, like she's doing this run. Oh my God, they're all so horrible, so horrible. There's no dancing. It's so awkward and so cringe. And so his is too, which there's so much stuff now, like where people are saying he's on drugs, he's all, there's so much information coming out that would be very triggering because, he was a little kid and he was getting shebanged up at the freakouts all the time. Like he was getting passed around and even Will's kid, can't remember that kid's name. Yeah, him and Justin, very close relationship, but they were, shebanging. They were being shebanged back together, in the gang shebang. So they were being tossed and passed around, which, Jada offered him up. Jada offered her own one up. She said, here, you take him. You raise him up right. Yeah, that's the right way to raise somebody. So, but that's how, Sean was raised. I mean, his mom was, sit on his face to quiet him down when he's crying. What in the world? God. Oh my God. But there's so many parents right now who are doing so much worse. Oh my God. The darkness that is being purged out in society is like, oh God, it's rough. Like yesterday, even I was like, I gotta just stay off TikTok. I gotta quit going on there. Go on to see what the hell's going on. And it's so horrible. So many horrible crimes. So much horrible shit. People doing horrible things to their kids. Yes, but there's a lot of busts going on. Another one of these fucking weirdo, church people. Everybody respects them. And then they are, have their kids. Their kids get to be older and they all still live there. They decide to foster. They get all these little dark kids and then abuse them and torture. It's just horrible. And then everything from the church, well, I had no idea. Yeah, because it's easy just to mask up and pretend you're something you're not. And people don't go any deeper. It's just like, well, they go to church. They're a good person. Not necessarily. And so, anyways, there's just crime after crime after crime going on. Horrible, horrible things happening to little kids. It's heartbreaking. And you know, but this is another thing about this soul thing. So I'll talk about that in a second too, because I want to finish about this concert thing. So then you got Justin Bieber, Justin Timberlake, Donnie Wahlberg, J Lo, Jessica Simpson, and Katy Perry had just done hers. Um, Jessica Simpson, it's like she looks like a wreck. Her clothes are malfunction at best. They're just hideous. Which I guess Shania, she had just gone and done one too with what everybody's saying. That's not the regular Shania. All these people, they don't look like their regular selves. And the Shania one too, people are saying like the clothes that they're putting them on. And J-Lo, she just always thinks she's rocking it, man. She's so up at her own ass, which I don't even get. How is she even getting to be on tour? Why is she not in a cell at this point? There's so much stuff out on her. It's absurd. And, God dang it. This is like 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. But that's like ATV speeding down the. I don't know, are they ATVs? Whatever, all these people around here drive around in these little small things. They're not golf carts. Some people have golf carts, but some people have, and they let their kids just drive around all over the place. So, I don't know. Oh, I know, that's the one, because I saw him yesterday morning. He was pulling his fishing boat with it. So he's pulling his fishing boat. He was trying to get out on the lake. So that's where he was going. Okay. Yeah, I remember. Okay, so anyway, so you got these weird ass concerts and the people can't fucking dance. And well, J Lo, she just did a sex show on hers. It's really gross. She's got her dancers just they're taking her doggy style. They're doing every pose. Let's because she's the sex expert, I guess. And these sellouts, they're like, yeah, they're all on board. But then it's like I don't even know that these are original people. J-Lo, I don't know. I kind of feel like she could be the same one that was at the, that carried in the thing, that took out the girl. Well, I guess that girl lived, but she's involved in so much stuff. So I don't know if she's the original one, but some of these other ones, like I don't think so. Like Justin looks so much different. I don't know about the Donnie and Timberlake. Like I don't know, they could have been cloned out a long while ago. But anyways, when I was watching these and thinking, what the hell is going on? And people are like, are they just too old now? But then you see Rick Springfield and he's out there rocking it, man, and he's 76. It's like, you have to take care of yourself. Yeah, if you're hitting Columbia style all the time, like, yeah, you're not going to be in good shape. Your lifestyle depends on you. Like, that's your whole thing. It's your lifeline to life. It's your lifeline to health, is your lifestyle. So, and I don't know these people's lifestyles. And if they are just, old and winded and can't handle it or something. So then, but what I was thinking is, I think this is what it looks like when there's no heart and soul in what they're doing. They don't have the heart and the soul in what they're doing. It's just like, just to make money, just here to make some money. Don't give a fuck. And that just is, you can't hide that anymore. You can't hide what you are representing. And so, if you're super shallow, it's going to be very transparent. If you just are not in it, you just don't give a shit. I'm just here to get the money. You guys pay me. I'm going to come out here and stomp around for a little while. Hold the mic up to my mouth a couple times, and call it a concert. Then, but there's, because somebody who has heart and soul, like you see Rick Springfield, and he's out there, he's out there. I didn't see the whole thing, but the clip I saw of his, it was very, where it still seems like his heart is in it. He still is like, but we did have a big part of our music industry that became soulless. And there's a big difference if you go back and listen to old like R&B or something, where there's soul, you could hear it, you could feel it, you could listen to it. It goes waves through your body. You feel what they're saying. And that's been lost, lost in pop, that's for sure. Pop is always hitting something different. And it was like sparking. That's, I think, where they talk about the different frequencies in music. But yeah, there used to be like you'd feel it in your soul, the stuff that they would sing. You'd feel the pain. You could feel it, man. And then, and which I like. I'm a big music person, and but that's why I was always like, pop music is just, it's like it doesn't have any heart and soul in it. And so, which it kind of started happening, I think, in the 80s, but there was still some bands that were like, oh, they were so good. Um, but I think that they were lowering the standards at some point, just putting pressure on, just pop out another song, pop out another song. And so, they were moving us towards the lack of heart and soul. And then the manipulation, even when it got to be hip hop turning into rap or whatever, where they were started trying to create anger and violence and get people to start, being disrespectful and to themselves, to other people, and all that. It's because they wanted to get we're all buying prisons, so what are you going to do? You got to cause some problems so you get these people to start filling them up. Which also, right after I did that video where I said that I think they're going to let a lot of people out, the next day, then, or later that day, I saw a thing and Donald had come out and said that every state where weed is legal, that they're going to let the people out who are involved in those crimes. He's like, that's ridiculous. Like, it's legal, but we're going to hold people in prison. So, see what I'm saying? And people are all up in arms because he's making it illegal to be homeless. But he had said this a while ago. He wants to get the people off the streets and give them homes and give them treatment and get them healthy again, because what has happened in our society. And so he's trying to be like, well, it's going to be against the law. We're going to get people out. We're going to get people homes. We're going to take care of people. And so, we're going to start spending the money right that comes in and gets our society back on track. Get people back to caring about themselves and caring about their communities and stuff, which there keeps being more and more busts in communities where people are like, oh my God, the whole police force in this 28 cops arrested in this one town or city, all involved in the, what the real problems are with traffic. And, to keep us on the red light, green light, yellow light instead of what's really going on. And so whole forces are being taken. And that's why I've said people have got to pay attention to what's going on in their communities. This list is just it is kind of a distraction, but now we have a senator who's like, he's making demand. He's getting it written in. Making a demand. We want all the information out there. And so, but it's all going to align. Like if you listen to the people that talk about the letter, it had the association to the drops, because even, what's his name? Not Cash, the other one, which he used to always be online just talking, but now he works for that, I don't know, one of those 3-letter agencies or something. And he's got the longer name. He's got the bald head. I can't think of his name right now. But he did a big post thing. And he was like, it's so much worse. He's like, I can't even believe some of the stuff. He's like, people can't even be able to handle it. In the post, he also says that there'll be stuff that the people will not be able to handle. Everything is not going to be told because it's too horrible. And he's sitting there saying, it's so horrible, I can't even believe it. And we've all got to come together and stuff. But see, it's the slow breaking down of people's anger and pulling us all in together. And you've got so much resistance. Like, these people are trying to make like this is back in the days where they were just putting people in asylums and stuff like that. That's not what Donald's trying to do. He's trying to get people to heal, get them off of the drugs and get them into positions where they can start living normal. And it's going to take a lot of healing for some people. So it's, just getting started. So he's not trying. And yeah, the other day when I drove through town, it's like it makes you cry. You see these people on the streets There was one guy just laying right there on the busy street, and he's just laying there. It's like, oh my God. He's a big pile of all his stuff. It's like, could you imagine in this heat and stuff, and you're just laying down on the side of a busy road with all your shit there and just sleeping on the sidewalk? It's like, man. And they're all just walking around. They've got all this stuff, and their hair's all dirty. And some are sitting on corners, signs. It's just so sad, man. It's just heartbreaking. So yeah, I'm glad that he's going in and saying, hey, we're going to start putting the money where it should go. We're going to start helping people. We're going to start building communities up, getting people back on track. Because, and then people want to hold on to these corrupt ways of spending, which it was more about that Fed guy, I guess, because when you see the clip of them talking, you can tell how this guy is not happy with Donald, and but he's the one, I guess, who's trying to hold the interest rate. So there's a whole thing about that. So there's people who are going to be revealed of the control and the manipulation that goes on, and a lot of them, they aren't really in the control. They are just puppets to the people in control, and the way that they become their puppet is because there's, male that becomes very black on them. So, and the reason you get that is because you're a weirdo perv. So, you feed into your fetish, see what gets you. And it's all being revealed at this point. You can't hide from it now. And so, anyways, there's more things with the money and all that going. And people who are on the XRP. And Donald had said August the 1st was going to be something big. And all these people on the XRP, they are all saying, like, there's a lot going on this week. And so, we're getting close. We're getting close to see something. See where the next move is. I don't want to get too excited and then be disappointed, but I sure the fuck hope it's like something big. So, anyways, so the lack of heart and soul, a lot of things moving, and I finished saying about that. But anyways, I think that is a part of what is being revealed, is the lack of soul, the lack of, their heart's just not in it. I don't know that. I think Justin Timberlake is only like in his 50s or something. It's like, that's not very old. And J-Lo, she's in her 50s, but she's just still trying to, make herself into a sex symbol. It's like, girl, it's like, you shouldn't have to, it's like, whatever, dude. And they're all, if they're even in their original people, they're brainwashed, mind controlled, they've sold their soul for money and fame, and I'm not saying every single person who has fame has sold their soul. Some things happen organically in a different kind of way. Some people, they push and push, and then there's lessons behind pushing. And then other people, things happen more organically, and it's a part of your journey. It's part of your lessons. It's a part of your life, what you're here to experience. But they do create a world where people will push. They'll sell their soul. They'll do anything for this or that. And there's lessons behind that. So that's their journey, but it's not the same kind of journey. And so there's different kinds of journeys going on. And that is kind of like what I'm going to say. Now I got to try and talk over. I swear to God, it is just, God, everything's so intense. So, but okay. So speaking of being the ancestors that are here, going full circle. Okay. So I can speak on my own because there's so many different things happening. Just like how there was all these women who started realizing like their husbands were very focused on Roman gladiators or soldiers or something. It was all this going all of a sudden where all these women are like, because people would ask them, how often do you think about Roman soldiers or something like that? And they would be like, well, every day. And everybody's like, what? You think about, like, I don't know that I've ever thought about that. And they're like, yeah, every day, every day. So when I was seeing those videos, I was like, oh, see, those guys are those soldiers that are come to go full circle. And going full circle doesn't mean you're coming to battle. You're not coming to fight like how we were. Whatever part you played. I mean, you may not have lives that you remember here and different experiences that you had that you were going full circle on. You may have ones from other places or something you remember, but when you have ones that you are here to go full circle, so those Roman soldiers, and they could have been controlled, manipulated, or whatever, and then their boss can be, somebody who was a part of that control system, and so it is. It's not so you can go in and do them in or something, but you can be real emotional about certain things. You can be very triggered by them, but it is a change of pace. It is you changing things. It's you taking things in a different direction and not the battle. Because what we have a lot of people still stuck in the battle with the souls, the entanglement, and they're triggered and triggered and triggered and triggered, which I think some of that has to do with some of these women who are doing in their kids. Like, it's so insane, the heartless shit going on. But it's deeper. That's why we can't sit in judgment, because we don't know the depth to their storylines. And there is a lot of pain and suffering that goes back and forth and back and forth, but you're here to turn it full circle. And so on the ancestry thing. So I've known for since I was a kid, I was very aligned with the Indians, American Indians, the original landholders of this country. And so, I don't know what else to call them, the original tribe people. So I was very aligned with them always. And I was, and that's a whole long journey thing. But as I became more awakened and having more memories and stuff, and then I started having ones coming to me and talking to me. So other ancestors come in and talking to me and telling me things. Like I said, there was the one where I would be taking a shower, and this one would show up, and he was like this old drunk Indian, and he was so fucking smart, and he would say such profound things, but it would always be when I was taking a shower, and it would be like he was sitting in there, he would be standing, but he would always be in there talking to me and telling me these most profound things. But he had this personality of this old drunk Indian. He was just such a character, but he would tell me things. And so, I started, there we go, something else. Oh, here we go. It's probably a deer. There's been a lot of deers. So we'll listen to him bark at the deers. And the deers are so pretty. God, deers are so elegant. The way they move and stuff. God, they're so cool. So, anyways, so in my case, so I have memories of kind of like battles of things being taken. Like, they took our lifestyle, they took away our lands, they took away things from us, and it gets me super emotional. You'll know like the things, because you'll feel such a deepness to some of these things. You'll feel it in the depth of your soul. It's not like you have to wonder or question. You'll feel it. You got to connect to these states of being where you've been, these bigger parts of your soul, these very, very significant experiences that give you more of an understanding of your purpose. And your purpose is not to come here and hunt them down and try and figure out where they hide and which body are they in, the ones that did us dirty. It's an energy. And it's like right now, we've even got the lands fighting back. We've got, they wiped out whole villages, and we've got that energy there, and it's fighting back. That's why I said there's going to be places that are going to just be gone. They're going to be underwater. And it's the energy fighting back. It's the turning the other direction. And so it's taking the lands back, and so in my own case, it was that was a part of my standing up and saying, no, I'm not going to pay you. I'm not going to do it no matter what happens. You know, if I end up having to live in a tent, if I have to live in a teepee, then I will do that. I will go back and because they got them, they did things on trade and yeah, it's almost like trapping people. So there was a lot of stuff that went on. And there's a lot of different experiences that we have gone through in our past lives, the experiences. And we, our own soul, is here to go full circle. So it's to do something different with energy where they wiped us out before. Now we're coming to stand strong and stand up for ourselves and believe in ourselves and to speak out. That's a big part to me. So it was to, it gets me so emotional. Sometimes I feel like it's just cry and cry. But to stand up for ourselves and speak out. So to me, mine was to stand up and be like, no matter if everybody thought I was crazy, I was going against the thing, you know, I'm not going to pay them anymore. And because some of it is the same people, like the Child of Ra, some of these vamps have been around for different periods of time where we have dealt with these same people, but we're not here to hunt them down because the universe is taking care of that. The universe is sweeping through and turning things around, and so they've played out, and so their time is up. That's a part of in your spiritual connection of knowing that part, like you don't have to. God dang it! I swear to God. Will you please just lay down? Her tail just whipped through the thing. I just can't even believe it didn't unplug that thing though. Her tail would fucking give you a black eye. Will you please just lay down? Okay, let me just finish doing what I'm doing. You guys are just wildness. No, I'm not gonna sit in. No, you guys. And I doubt it was something. It's not like a grizzly bear you ran off. You ran off the deers. So, oh, now you're gonna just sit right under the plug. Come on. Will you guys spread out and lay down? Give me a fucking break. Let me finish doing my work, okay? 3 times. Just go in a circle under the plug. I swear to fucking God. My God, I swear. Oh, here we go again. Just please lay down. Please, just lay down. Just give me a break. Let me finish talking. For fuck's sake, man. Well, let's just sit here and think about it. I don't know about that. I'll do some circles. Maybe go this way, maybe go that way. It's that old lady. Okay, so anyways, so going full circle is not to take revenge. You know, you've got to move out of the energy of revenge and avenging. It's a different kind of way of moving. And so it's standing up for yourself and speaking out. So a big part, like I said, is the audience, the speaking and saying the truth. So saying the truth about what's really going on is a big part. Point out the thing so it's not in the dark anymore. And so you point out and you tell people, and then, you know, I mean, there's lots of people that think, oh, okay, crazy person. Yeah, you were an Indian. You're an ancestor. It's like, but think what you want. Believe what you want. I mean, that's your own restriction on your limitations on how you look at things. If you can't understand what's happening, you know, and you want to hold on to the 3-dimensional, like, do you. I really don't care at this point. You know, believe what you want to believe. And, but you know, I mean, that took some time, you know, to be able to speak, because even when you say things, you know, people around you are always like, okay, that's crazy, whatever. It's how would you even know that? It's like, because I've got a connection to my soul. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, I don't know what you're connected to, but I'm connected to my soul. And I've been connecting to it for my whole lifetime, so I don't know. And I don't know what other people are plugged into. I know what I'm plugged into. And And I do understand about reincarnation. It was something that I was pulled into understanding fucking decades ago. I started in on that when I was 20. So I might have even been 19. And so I've been, in that, and it wasn't like I remembered my lives and stuff. I just knew I had them. And then I would get these flashes, like I would be going through something, and I would get these flashes all of a sudden. And like this was decades ago too. One of them, I was, um, I was at the lake with my kids and my husband, and I started having these flashes, and I was like, oh, I was a gay guy in like World War II or something. I was like a plane. I flew planes, and I was kind of a sleep arounder. Like I enjoyed the sex, and I would, you know, be in the stall with another guy or something. I was like in luck in my life. I was enjoying what I was doing, and so could see that so clearly, even to the point I was like, I wonder how many of these guys I've been married to or have come and dated me were guys that I knew back then. Like, I was like, I think we've had this relationship before. But anyways, it just came in so clear, and I started thinking, what's wrong with me? Am I like crazy? Like, how do I keep having these flashes of this stuff? It was kind of weirding me out. But it took more time where I started seeing like, oh, this is a past life of mine. This is something I'm connecting to inside of me. And there's a reason, like I said, is this because of this relationships I've had before. And so anyways, but when I started connecting to this other, the native tribal person part of me, and I started getting the flashes of that and seeing and having an understanding, it wasn't about revenge or avenging or whatever. The avenging yourself is the bringing light to something that people have not seen. And so having an awareness of a certain type of system, having awareness of these certain people. So where people, people start saying, oh, you just believe whatever, you believe in these conspiracies and stuff. It's like, these aren't conspiracies, this is real. And so I know in my heart and soul. So I will stand for what I believe in, and I will say what I believe because I know it in my heart and soul. And so that is the standing for the truth. And then creating an audience is the bringing people in to hear what you say so that um, they can start seeing the darkness that's hiding in there, the control, and how that they have built this control system. Now they've gotten control over us through their money and stuff, and so that's what it is more. If you are taking things in a different direction, and it's in the and at the time while this energy is changing, it's like we're riding the wave of that energy. So we are a part of that energy. We are, the sparkles coming out of it, the truth, the light coming out of the energy that's moving through. So it's not hitting, it is hitting, there's obstacles of the energy. We're watching the obstacles. We're watching the different people dragging their feet and stuff. But they're going to have parts of themselves to face. But then there's those of us who are here to push that energy, push the energy of change, pushing the energy of sovereignty, pushing the energy of freedom, because we feel it in the depths of our soul. We remember the experience of when it was taken, and we have to point it out. But that's the bringing the light into what is hidden. And so it's shedding the light is the avenging. It's not the battle. It's a spiritual, and it's bringing in light into the dark. So that is what, to answer your question, Crystal, it's not to come as the ancestor and fight and, be belligerent and go in. That is where, if you still are in those places of war, that is lower vibration. We're coming here to raise the vibration. We're coming here to bring awareness into things, not coming back because we're coming back to fight now. No, we've already been through the fight. We are outsmarting the fight. We've been oppressed. We've been suppressed. We've been, you know, I mean, you've seen what they've done. You know, they brought in. They took the lands from people. They took their kids. They built on that. They put them into ghettos and reservations, and they've suppressed and oppressed the people. And they've built off of where they began. And so now is the time. The tables are turning, but there's those of us who had the experience are here pushing the tables to turn too. If you get what I'm saying. I mean, like I can see it so clearly, but I don't know if I'm explaining it right because it's a hard thing to explain, and it's kind of like you have to go internal and ask and see, and so you see it for yourself. But it's it's not to come here and in a sense of war because we're raising the vibration. We're going back to a time of peace where we get to go back and live the way that we were before and live in a time of peace and harmony, in harmony with the planet, in harmony with nature, and live in a connection through our spirit to what is outside of us. And so that's this going full circle. But, like I totally believe in that we're not here to fight, and it's not about war. This is what we're fighting against because that is what they've always done to us. So we're going against it by dropping our swords and shields, or by not taking a knee. It's like, come at me, machete my head off. But you can't stop what's coming. There's too many. There's too many. It's changing. And I don't even know Donald's role of what life things he's experienced and stuff, but we've all had experiences that we're here to go full circle. And so no matter what it is, I mean, you got these people who are doing horrible things to each other. But that is when they're still stuck in the entanglement. But there also has to be that energy that plays out because it gives us the darkness. It gives us to see what it is that we are going against, and it's the parameters of change. So the darkness, it's quite clear, it's apparent, it's around us everywhere, and we see that we're moving out around it. We're not going to get caught up in it. That is your soul being entangled in an energy, and you are the one who has to pull free. And that's why I've said, if you do feel these entanglements with another soul, is it where you got to think of, like, you don't do what feels comfortable, because that is something that you've probably done over and over and over, lifetime after lifetime. You want to do something that's uncomfortable. You want to do something that's different. You don't want to be caught up in revenge. You don't want to be caught up in I'll get even with you. You want to be moving into this this time of self-assurance. Yeah, you can come and machete my head right off, but that's not going to stop anything. And you can't hurt me. And so that's why I said, when this battle reaches its pinnacle point between good and evil, because it's going to come from, the way I see it is the religion is the control factor, and spiritual is the freedom factor, and the control and the freedom are going to hit hard. And that's the biggest explosive thing of change that's going to come. But there will be people who will not be able to control themselves. They're going to get too angry, and I think there's going to be a lot on the controlling side that is going to, just like those same things where you had these people who would go in the street. Well, God told me to kill the prostitutes. It's like, I don't think that's God. And or, I'm going to go down to the clinic where all these girls, and I'm going to take them out. I'm just going to blow them up. It's like, I don't think that's coming from God. So that is, so there will be that energy. And so, but that's why I say when you are living your truth, you don't, you don't fight back like that. But, you know, I can't tell you just to stand there and take it. You know, you're going to have to follow your own lead. Because to me, I've always been a fighter, you know, like where there was the fight or flight. You come at me, don't, I got, like I've been with people who've come at me physically, and I've scratched their faces off. I've ripped their beards out of their face. I've grabbed hair and ripped it out. I've gone between the knees or between the legs. I'll fight. I will fight you. And not like I'm gonna, no, but if you're coming at me and you're gonna try and attack me, I'm not going to freeze. That's another thing people do. So many people freeze. No, you come at me, I will. I've said before, I'll go Hellcat on you. I'll go crazy on you. And so, and if you know somebody comes marching into my house and is coming after me, I will, you know, fight them. You know, I will not just bend over. Oh my God, stop, stop, don't hurt me. No, I'll be picking up shit and slamming it in your goddamn head. I'll pick this up and I'll hit you in the head with it. Like I will fight for my life. And but when it comes to this bigger thing, you don't want to get into like, you know, I'm going to join a gang and we're going to go out and we're going to call it a protest and we're going to fight these people. We're going to go against them and we're going to, no, we're not going into those battles anymore. Yeah, that's where you got to go away from that. If somebody comes at you, you got to do what you think is right. You know, and if you, because there's, you know, think about those girls where there's been these in the school and they knew like, oh, you believe in God? Yeah. And they're like, yeah. And it's like, well, whatever, I can't remember the things like, you ready to meet him? And they don't whine and cry for their lives. They just say, you know, do what you got to do. And they when you really believe, you don't have a fear, but then also, you know, you also have a part of you that kicks in. So, but you got to get control of it, where you start, you know, what is that called? It's like the difference in manslaughter and first degree. You know, the planning. Well, we're gonna go out. We're gonna get that. We're gonna go to that CHRUCH, and we're gonna blow it up. You know, like that. No, we're not. Mm-mm. We're not gonna. We're not going to go out and do things like that. But if somebody comes at you, you know, like if somebody's coming with a, you know, machete, and they're gonna just whack you. You know, when, you know, what are you gonna do? It's not. Put your arm up and get that hush, hush, sweet Charlotte kind of situation. So I don't. But you have a program you're running. You have an internal knowledge. You have an internal knowing of what is, you know, what is your role, what is to come, what is to be, and I think that is a part of my frustration, though, is the censorship. Like I feel like a lot of things are going to change in my life when the censorship changes, because they are there is the darkness that is censoring those people who are trying to speak the truth and get people to see things. And so the censorship has an influence over the energy at this point, but all of these different things that have been controlling us are falling apart. And so the it's to me, it's using my voice. It's the speaking the truth. It's being real and the speaking over, you know, the truth over, you know, what you're here to do. You're here to make change, but you do it by changing. You do it by doing something different, not playing their same games, because then you're keeping the darkness alive. You keep in the battles and the fighting, which that time traveler, you know, it keeps going and going in my head of the things he said. And I've said before, there's going to be a bunch of realities that are going to come from this. So, you know, if there's a reality that's going to, you know, go and still live in, you know, they're going to love LA so much, they're going to build another one and call it LA too. Like, it's so weird. and just being black and white, and they're going to become so sick they have to have a secondary avatar. And so, I mean, that's a reality. You know, they're going to go, and maybe in 2040 is when they start becoming this or that, you know. But I'm not going to that one. I'm going to this other one, because this other one is going to be about peace and love and sovereignty and freedom. And so that reality is coming into existence. I'm not the only one making it. There's a lot of us. And at some point, we'll all start coming together. We'll all start moving in the same circles. We'll all start being in the same orbit somehow. I don't know. There's going to be just these constant things that are going to keep blowing up in our society and falling apart, and it's going to keep pulling different people into different positions, into different areas. But that reality is still true, but I can't say his isn't true. I can't say, oh no, he's lying. No, because there's tons of realities, and you're always going to go to what you're here to experience. And so, yeah, I'm here for the freedom. I'm here for the, going back and living in harmony and living. To me, it just goes back to like this way of the tribes when there wasn't influence by the controllers, and they just lived in peace and harmony, and they moved where the weather, was the earth gave them the parameters of existence, not these people who want control, who take and take and take from your energy, and that they are, vampires in every sense of the being, and there's just so much weird stuff, with how far they've gone. And I saw this girl again. She's speaking out more, and she's a whistleblower on this Plum Island place, which is, I think it's off of the banks of, I don't know, Connecticut, or over by there, by New Hampshire, over there. And it's a LAB island. And she said that they told them what they were working on was trying to make, trying to understand certain diseases so that they could help people not get them. But what they're really doing is making them. They're creating them because it's the function of the gain. So what they do is they, that's where I say like the government bugs and stuff. They come from these places because they go and they see like, well, we dig this. And she said, while she was there, all of a sudden, not the lemons, but the limes, all of a sudden that came. And she knew where it was coming from because they were working on the TICKs. And she started seeing through, what they were doing. And she said there's lots of weird stuff. And they would get deliveries at night. There would be, they would get animals that looked like 4 different animals were put together. She said there was all sorts of weird stuff. So she's telling all sorts of stuff about it. But yeah, that's what they've been doing. And so they've come a long ways. Man, there's another noise. Maybe it's a boat. God, it's just so intense, and so everything is so intense right now. It just feels like the world is spinning faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. And I don't know, it's like all of a sudden gonna just boom. It's like we're gonna go in a different direction. That's all I know. And however it's going right now, and it's like these things are being thrown at us so that you can kind of see, but people don't see because they're caught up in their fears. So they don't see the good stuff that's coming, because there's good stuff coming that's going to be changing our direction. But they're all caught up in their fears, like, oh, he's trying to create asylums again and just lock us all up. He's trying to, all this stuff that they think. It's like, no, that's not what's going on. You've got somebody telling you this, and you got to stop believing what somebody tells you. You got to start paying attention. And at this point, there's so much. It's so deep. Like, you try and tell people about the money thing. Well, this has been going for years and years and years. You got a lot to catch up on. So any of the things, if you haven't been paying attention all along, it's like so much deeper. It's like, fuck, man, I don't even know where to start to tell you at this point. It's like, all I can tell you is it's different than what you think. And so But, all these things have to play out. But you can feel how much faster things are going and how uncomfortable. Oh, yeah, because when I got up last night and I couldn't sleep and I went on, somebody was explaining the Schumann, what was going on in the Schumann, and it's going crazy. It's having these big whiteouts. And then, like, where I was not being able to sleep, it went black again. And they said the energy is insane. So, yeah, it is. The energy is insane. But everybody's here for some purpose. Everybody's here for some reason. You're not just like, a nothing in a whole room of somethings. You are something too. But you got to connect to what you are. You got to figure it out for yourself. It's not like anybody can tell you. In mine, it came to me little by little by little over a long, long period of time. And so when you're trying to figure it out and force it, it's a lot harder. It's a lot easier. Like, there's so many things, like I'll be trying to remember something and I can't remember it until when I finish, and I'm not trying to remember, it just zips right in. So when you're trying to force things, it makes it a lot more difficult. When you just allow things just come to you. And so it's just opening your mind up to the possibilities, and things will start coming to you. And then read the signs. You can, read, like, you could be watching something, you could be watching a movie, and it's showing about some situation that happened, and all of a sudden you're just bawling your head off, and you feel it so deep, and you're so emotional about it. You have probably some connection to it, and it could be, a period of time of, like, the age of, like, like the knights in the there's been so many different things that have happened. There's been the oppressors and the ones that were, like the knights coming in and to the villages and slaughtering the people because they wouldn't take a knee to the church and the crown, and they wanted to have their own beliefs. And so there's different parts that were played out in all these different existences. There was all different experiences, and each part had its own learning. But, here now, you're learning more. You're learning more of the other side. Like where before we were being slaughtered, but there is a passive side to living in your spiritual and not being so caught up in the revenge side, in the oppression, and trying to, because then you're trying to oppress some other. And so to me, it's just like you don't want to be entangled, because the ones that come into your thing, you have different experiences from other things, other lives that you are having, but it'll play out in different ways. And so to me, it's, you don't want to be trying to oppress anyone or whatever. You got to just stay in your own truth. Stay in your own shell of truth of what you believe. You don't have to force anyone else to believe what you believe. Nobody else has to believe what you believe. You just have to believe what you believe. And that's your truth. And nobody can put you off your truth. It's your truth and it's yours. So, and anybody who tries, then they are trying to oppress you or suppress you or hold you back. And if you need to take a knee to them and please them and be what they want you to be, then that's up to you. That's your entanglement. That's your lessons. That's what you're here to, try and surrender and figure out for yourself. I can't, I can just give you some concepts, some ideas, but it's up to you to figure it out on your own and to create the being that you are. And one thing too is that the people who are coming around you, like you start noticing, you'll have a lot of certain personalities that come towards you. Well, it's because you have a weakness in that area that they show you, in that, so you not to change them or not to hate them. So many, there's still such a wave of just cut people out of your lives, is but they are there to mirror back your weaknesses, so it's also you can build you up. So I don't know how to explain it. You'd have a lot of takers around. You could have a lot of people just take from you. And you can become really frustrated and very angry and resentful. But really, it's to show you that what you keep giving and giving and giving, and you have to stop and go, why do I keep giving? What am I trying to get from this? Where, I mean, they will take and take and take, but where do I have to stop? And to me, it's so much about boundaries and stuff. So, anyways, but that's kind of what I'm talking about. So, let's look at this. I think, yeah, sometimes I think I can just go on and on and on trying to really, do you understand what I'm saying? So, anyways, Crystal, you can tell me if I make more sense now than what you had thought I was saying. Because no, we're not here as the ancestors to fight, to, avenge. The avenging is to let go, not to, to go towards what it is, go towards your freedom. It's just march, and more of us come together, and we march towards our freedom. We're no longer going to give them our energy. We're no longer going to give them, in the more we pull free, the more it gives them nothing. It gives them nothing to exist by. And so it's but I mean, there's more to it, because there's, they're being held accountable for their crimes at this point, and some of their crimes go back for centuries. So, but that's a part of also where they're not gonna. I don't think that they're gonna go there. That would be way too much for people to be able to wrap their heads around. It's like, yeah, well, you know what they did to you in your past life. Now they're getting in trouble for that too. It's like their energy is, it's being taken from this place. And it's, and like I said, like I wouldn't want to be a part of the takers of that, because then you've got an entanglement. And so, and they're, it's feeding into the dark energy. So it's just kind of weird, because, but there's a part where but that's going to be the beauty, though, where the universe is going to sweep through and, take things back. They're going to set things straight. And that's going to be, where we start getting the land back, and we start getting the things that were taken from us back. And, but, they've been taken from us for a long time. This little person you're playing right now for the past 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years is such a small part of you and your experience. It's just the person the avatar that you created to come here to wrap things up, to go the new direction. And so, anyways, that's the way I see it. And let's see this. It's sore. I swear it's just getting better, but fuck, it can be so sore. Not like it was that one for the couple weeks. But, I mean, right now my body's trying to turn inside out, so I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's so uncomfortable. So, everything is uncomfortable. Everything is changing. And the more that the dark pulls, the more darkness that is coming out in the people. And I think that is, a part of these whole concerts and stuff. It's like you're just seeing this soulless part of people. This, they've lost their heart and soul. They've sold out. They've given up. There's something that's, and some of them, there are these synthetic people or something. Like these girls keep, really stuck doing these videos talking about these changes in these different women, and how people keep being like, oh, that's just plastic surgery. And it's like, that's not plastic surgery. Look at their eyes. Look at the shape of their jawline. Look at, like, they're totally different faces. And, which to me, it's not just their clones, because their clones, I think, would look more like them. I think it is some kind of a synthetic kind of thing, like this. And they do take some of these people's souls. They take them from them, and they move them into these things. Like, I don't know if some of them, they go to meetings, say, you're going to have a meeting, because this is what the thing with Chappelle. So he was, because he had tried to run from him, went to Africa, and then he came back, and then they told him to come in for this meeting because he had a lot of influence over people. And that's the thing, is like they want to control the people who are influential. And so, because he was bringing in a different energy that they didn't want. They wanted the dark energy, and he wasn't aligning with that. And so they called him in for a meeting, and he thought it was going to be okay. And then his cousin said he never came out of that meeting, but they got a new Chappelle out there, which that one could be a clone. That one does kind of look like him or whatever. But but so you could go to a meeting. You wouldn't want to drink anything, but they've gone beyond that now, because they can just blow something in your face. They can just rub up against you. They've got all sorts of ways that they've figured out at these, LABs to get you. And so, which the guy who figured out how to turn plastic into fuel, he's gone missing. He's been missing 2 weeks, and people are freaking out about him, because this is what they do. And I don't know. I hope it's just a part of the show. I hope he's not really, but they do try and shut it down. Anybody who's trying to move the light in, because they want to keep the light out. And so, so Chappelle went to a meeting and didn't come out. Though I think, some of these people can be more innocent. Like the one, Taryn, I think her name is, she was saying that they're always offering you the gold elixir. And when you drink the gold elixir, everything is possible. And, but she wouldn't drink it. But so if they take him to these meetings, hey, we want to have a meeting about your career, whatever, your manager, because these managers and these managers are all handlers and stuff. So they are there to keep you imprisoned and under control. But so they pull you into a meeting, and then they, let's toast on it. Let's all toast on it, and then whatever is in it, it is like a drug or something that makes them kind of unconscious. And then they move them right into a thing, suck their consciousness out, and then throw it into a different, into a clone, into a synthetic, and part of their face changing, but also it's when their weight changes, like Adele, Rebel, when they all of a sudden had this big weight change. I think it's when they were switched out of their bodies. They were taken in because they had to get more control over them. And these people, they use music industry and celebrities and idolization and stuff like that. Because it's crazy when you see some of these people who become so defensive in the comments when people say things about some of these celebrities. There's people who come to their defense like mental. It's like there's so much celebrity worship, but that's what they created, was this idol worship, worshiping these idols and this celebrity lifestyle and stuff. And so they created that, and there's all these people who have bought into it, but it is it's because they make so much money off of it, and they control the people. Like, look at the control they have through the Kardashians and stuff over people, and all these women going in and getting all these surgeries and stuff to look like them. I just can't even believe how that is such a trend, to look like them, and then to build these ginormous butts. I can't even get over it. It is so strange. It's like, what are you going to do with that? Like, where do you think all that's going as you age? Like, oh, what are you going to have your butt hanging down, not just down to your knees, but you're going to have it hanging down on the sides too? It's like they get these giant, it's mental, I swear to God. And, oh yeah, and the teeth thing, this is really getting sad, is this teeth thing and what's going on in Turkey, and all these people who keep going to Turkey to try and get cheaper things done, plastic surgeries and stuff. You're coming home with one kidney. This girl, she just went to go get, she decided to have all her teeth removed and get implants. Like, I have no idea. Like, I don't know how jacked up her teeth were and stuff like that. It's like some things you just gotta you know, love yourself. Like, you know, okay, your teeth are jacked up, and Western medicine is going to charge you a fortune, $10,000 for braces or whatever the fuck. But, you know, I don't know. Because she decided to go to Turkey and have all of her fucking teeth removed and have them all put implants. Well, I had 2 implants. After this, I didn't do it on purpose. The dentist broke my teeth with a root canal thing, and so I didn't even know that there was dental malpractice until it happened to me. And and I didn't even know, like, I should have fought more, but I felt like fortunate that they were going to pay for the implants. And so I went to go get the implants, which they could only do 2. And he broke 3 teeth, and then I could only get 2 implants because of however what they've got to hook onto or something. And so I got the surgery, which gave me nerve damage, and then mine failed. My body rejected them. And so that's why you know, these people who go in and getting these implants, it's like, you know, your body may reject them. Mine did. And then when you have to get them removed, oh my fucking God, it's fucking horrific. And but mine also had nerve damage, which is a lot more intense with the pain. So, I mean, maybe some people, but mine got infected. It was, they kept falling, but the bolt is still in your jaw. So when they have to go in and cut the bolt out of your jaw, that's where it's some fuckery. But this lady, she went and got this whole thing done. And I think a lot of people from the UK go over to Turkey to get stuff done, because so many of these people have accents. And so I don't think as many people, there is people who are flying from America over to Turkey and getting these things done, getting facelifts and boob jobs and all this stuff, which it just seems so wacky. But they have these places that are paying, you know, well, it's a whole big thing, you know, pay $5,000, you got a room, you get food, you get this, you get that. It's like, it's a lure, people. It's a fucking lure. And they just want your parts. And you're closer to, you know, these people in the Middle East who live off these parts. So it's just so wacky. But anyway, so this lady, she went and got all her teeth removed. And I guess right away she started having some kind of pain. Well, it showed first she was having a lot of bruising. So she had bruises at first. Then something else started happening. But at this point now, oh, it's so disgusting. Oh, it makes me kind of sick to picture it. Her nose is collapsed. So whatever infection or whatever is eating her up inside or something, which there's another lady, and she went to, is there a place called Pig's Beach or something? She went to some Pig's Beach, and she got some kind of a parasite, and it's eating her alive, and it's taking her over. And her sister is even on the internet saying, somebody, you know, anybody has any ideas, please. We've been to so many doctors, they can't figure anything out. She's just getting worse and worse. I think she's gonna die. And it's just this, oh, it's horrible. And this girl's face, so her nose is collapsed, her teeth, they're all out now, and she just, her teeth oh, it's all just jacked. Her whole face is just, it's a mess. And you know, she's trying to go and look better, and now she's dealing with, but that's why I've been saying, like, the energy behind this vanity is blowing up. Like, it's so much more important to go internal. This everything that is this kind of feeding into that energy is all going to be blowing up in the wrong direction. But the one doctor who was talking about this girl's thing and her nose collapsing, it's like, now, I mean, she was trying to save money going over there. Now she's got so many, like, this is going to be a fortune. And she's got so many doctors she needs to see, like ENT. And I know, like, over in England and stuff, they've got free medical. But that's the thing too in Canada. Like, they've got free medical, but they, you know, they got control over your health then, and they're not doing anything. And Canada is apparently having a mass exodus, and people are talking about it. Like, hundreds of thousands of people are moving away. And I think, you know, we've got that going on everywhere, but that's also going to lead us into this, hey, we're free to go where we want to go. There's no more restriction. Like, we're going to be, this is the movement towards it, because we're still under restriction. But we're moving towards that because everybody's like, no, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. This isn't what I want. And so, anyways, it's going to keep going and going and going. And then these other realities will build up and become real. But, I know where I'm going. I'm going to the age of Aquarius. I'm going to the freedom. I'm going to the heaven on earth. I'm going to, and I know that to get there, you got to meet the energy. You got to match it. You got to be of the same vibration. And so that's where you got to have a lot of forgiveness, a lot of love and compassion, and people are, people are lacking it at this point in time of our world, and it's, they're chasing something that is, chasing beauty and stuff. So, anyways, but I'm telling you, where it all stems from is learning how to love yourself, learning how to love everybody else, and learning how to have the day you want to have. And so, anyways, we'll talk about it more tomorrow. If I'm still not clear and you still are like, what the hell are you talking about? Just comment and I'll try and clarify tomorrow. So, anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye.